Menu narration. Off. Enable text-to-speech to allow voice narration of highlighted menu elements.
New game! Imagine. My name's Jeff. Hi, Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Ah, London. What a town. History around every corner and a tourist photographing it. Pubs serving up a pint and a smile. All that music, theatre and art. And multiculturalism. And the world's oldest underground, the Tube. The class of cities, really. Top shelf stuff. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
Quiet.
What's our status?
Perimeter security's down, but plenty of your flying friends about.
Fucking hell.
Dalton, no time to waste.
Yes, ma'am. I'm in.
Movie.
Any idea what we're up against, Bagley?
If you hadn't brushed off, I might. Ever consider leaving these security threats to the authorities?
That's rich, Bagley. The government would sooner arrest us for trying to help than actually do something useful.
We'll have to sort this one on our own.
Carefully, Dalton.
Bagley, are you detecting a little worry in Sabine's voice?
Brilliant. Asking the computer about feelings. This explains so much.
Shut it, you two, and get to work.
There she is.
I did make it louder.
Perimeter security's back up. South entrance is secure.
That hurt you more than it hurt me.
Is it not louder? I made it louder.
Do us a favor and keep it quiet, Dalton.
If they don't shoot me, I won't shoot them. How's that?
The I's cross the T's, lads. Stop it up. Tick tock.
If I raise my volume, then I'm too loud, but my voice doesn't need changing. It's good. Let's go to Ubisoft Connect. Oh, it's the same setting as usual. That means now the next game will probably be too loud if I edit stuff. Holidays. You found what with the last game? Well, it should be a little louder now. I upped it again. Well, I mean, I don't want it to be quiet, so thank you for letting me know. But hopefully it's better.
They've got loads of DedSec gear down here. And why do you suppose that is?
What? How did they get their hands on it?
I don't know. But someone wants to make it look like DedSec was here.
Shit. You need to proceed with extreme caution, Dalton.
Dalton.
Who are these men in black anyway?
Nothing identifying. I suspect that's by design.
Low.
Fireworks are live.
Oh, fuck me. The entire place is rigged to blow.
Jesus, those canisters. Bagley, is that...
RDX nitrogen, enough to level Parliament.
Can you locate a detonator, Bagley?
Not exactly, but there's a device streaming a fuckload of encrypted data from the floor above you.
Yeah, that fits the bill. On my way.
Their profiles are heavily encrypted. No identifying information.
Ghosts in this system.
Bagley, is that not the detonator?
No, but it's a transmitter sending a signal to a device on the floor above us. Safe to assume that would be the detonator we're looking for.
Delicious, huh? That's good.
They've staged DedSec propaganda all around the bombs. These pricks are gonna blow up Parliament and hang it on us.
Not if you get to that detonator first.
I said I'll try. Yum, right? Hehe. I mean, almonds are good.
In the House of Commons. Whoever these men in black are, they've got brass bollocks to set up in the centre of government.
I found the detonator. And it's definitely live. Bagley, I'm gonna need some help. All right, Bagley, do you...
And the bombs have just armed themselves. Well, that may complicate matters.
Fuck's sake. Can you defuse them or not?
Of course I can, but I might also trip another failsafe and vaporize you, so fair warning.
Expect this to draw some attention your way, Dalton.
Oh, I'm counting on it.
Company at our back door.
Dalton, we've got some heat here at HQ.
How long is this gonna take, Bagley?
Depends how often you interrupt me with questions.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out. It's about to get real.
Fuck.
They're on me. I'll try and hold them off.
Look for anything suspicious. Moving on, there's nothing here. You made me do this.
Bagley, update. Let's just say I'm both impressed and annoyed by how sophisticated this anti-tamper security is. Still working.
I'm hit. Take the suspect. Shots fired, shots fired.
Bagley, tell me you're close.
I'm through security, now wading through terabytes of decoy code looking for the detonation sequence.
Hell, back up. I'm taking fire. Fuck, I'm hit. Help, please.
problem, Dalton. I need your physical appendages now.
What's wrong?
There are 3 slots on the left. One of them is the receiver. You need to pull the controller wire.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm fucking not. Pull the wire.
If this gets me blown up...
Bombs defused. See? That wasn't so bad, was it?
Bagley, you bastard. You nearly gave me a bloody heart attack then. Whoa. What the fuck am I looking at?
It appears Parliament is not the only target. More bombs are going live as we speak.
On screen, Bagley.
Now we need to get the word out. Those sites need to be evacuated.
They're spread out all over London. There isn't any time.
But my sister's at the Tone Conference. We have to do something.
I picked up a transmitter on the roof that is sending out a signal to the other bomb sites. If you can reach it...
I can shut it all down. Sabine!
Fuck! Dalton, we're breached! Go! The roof!
Oh no!
Sabine, what's going on?
We're being raided. It's a bloodbath. Her protocol is to wipe everything, including Bagley.
I need him for the transmitter.
I know, but if they get him, they get everything. Names, ops, locations.
Okay, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. Wipe him.
Yes, wipe me.
Do it, Sabine, and get the hell out of there.
Fuck. Okay, Bagley's down. You're on your own. Dalton, if this goes...
It won't. I'll see you at the rally point. I promise.
Good luck.
Landed a shot!
Well done, Dalton Wolf. I'm impressed.
The fuck are you?
Oh, you still think you're here to save London? I'm afraid that's not going to happen. You're here to help us with some important work.
Important work? Killing thousands of...
Exactly. To save the world. You do know Londoners have died before, hmm? The plague, the Great Fire, the Blitz. It's not much fun. But destruction is always the cure. And it begins today. Zero Day. It's time for a hard reset.
Oh my God.
A series of
explosions devastated 3 sites in London. Authorities are asking residents to remain in their homes as the situation continues to develop. We have received no official casualty total, but it is expected.
Mourners gathered for a series of candlelight vigils that brought closure to thousands of families and indeed to an entire city. London is now laser-focused.
Today at 10 Downing Street, where Nigel Cass, CEO of private military company Albion, received a mandate to secure London. Cass has vowed to hunt down DedSec. Terrorist response force. Albion used cutting-edge artificial intelligence systems and autonomous drones to capture the remaining members of DedSec. A stark warning to would-be insurgents.
Top corporations are posting record profits due to increased efficiencies in production and distribution, enabled by the use of technologies initially developed and approved for security purposes.
Cleanup as crime numbers take a dive. Illegal gambling, drug trafficking and prostitution all down following prosecutions of the leaders of 4 of London's 5 largest criminal syndicates. The streets of Camden and Brixton.
As Albion's mandate is extended indefinitely by the government, life finally begins to return to normal. Curfews and travel restrictions have been lifted in all boroughs thanks to the deployment.
News outlets, reports of rioting in Trafalgar Square have been greatly exaggerated, possibly by foreign meddlers pushing a false narrative through social media. Albion is in complete control of a
to reprimand the public about the circulation of fake news, conspiracy theories persisting in dark corners of the internet that terrorist group DedSec were framed for the bombings have been roundly rejected. Our own reporters could not find a single Londoner willing to expound those theories on camera. The facts simply do not support any other story.
I need to assemble a team, but I can't reboot DedSec alone. Let me break into London CTOS and see who's available.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I'll be saying to start, we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail. Now, I'll say they should all be lined up and shot.
You don't find it
They're not
awfully
stopping
convenient
talking.
that they've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no proof?
Look at Tone! Look at our city! What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, DedSec showed their true colors. It's terrifying to think we harbored such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs in London, like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next, I have Crypto King. Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Why make it easier for them to track you? And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean the government? Are you suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. They're all in on it. The government, Albion, Sirs, Bloom, Sky Bloody Larson, and all the way up to Downing Street. They want to keep us scared, harness us with mind control, suck every last ounce of usefulness out of us, and even in death they'll sell off our bodies.
And what do you suggest we do, Crypto King?
Go underground. Deep enough, no electric signal can get you. It's the only way.
Well, thank you to all of our callers today, and thank you for tuning in and scouting for the truth along with me. Next week, Buccaneer Radio will be diving into the Albion Corporation. Just who are these men and women being paid lucrative amounts for the city's defense? Are they protecting us? Protecting London?
Shit. Situation is worse than I thought. But there's a candidate. Looks like you're DedSec's best hope.
First day off work for that 12 years. Sounds like a time to relax, huh? Not a bad thing. Maybe it's in the top what they have: gun, debt collector, DJ, discount and clothes, drone, police contact, priority care, doctor, pickpocket, it's a nice car. Even says recently purchased £200,000 sports car. Failed motorcycle. It's a security, nice. Comfy time. Much comfy. Going in supercar. Going a character, I like how they look. Takes less damage. Use a drone. Your guy, this is a car. A nice car. Very nice car. I think it's gonna be one of those two. I just don't know which one. Beard guy or girl with this real nice car to start with. I feel like that car is a little more expensive than the pistol. The whole point of this game is you can be anyone, so I feel like it doesn't matter who you get to pick one of these characters, but in the future you get whoever you want. This is just your first. They all have a perk in how they look. So it's either his beard guy, and he just gets a pistol. But this chick gets a really nice car, so I think I might just start with her. I think I might just take the car. Yeah, I'll go with the car.
Glad to see you're alive. If you're still committed to the cause, DedSec needs you. I'll send you the coordinates.
I need those weird. You can play them.
Menu narration.
To our last safe house. Meet me there.
Fine.
Take her to not have that crappy car. Worth it.
I've downloaded a patch to your optics so you can access our security system. It's set up so that I can't just let someone who isn't DedSec in. You'll have to do the manual override.
I'm not thrilled about getting my hands dirty, but I suppose one does what one must.
What is going on? It's unacceptable. Come on. One of
Watch the beams, are you? I'll see you downstairs later then.
Why does this always bloody happen? I see it's bad now, but it'll be all right.
In for a penny.
I was on doing.
A dank, pitch-black cellar. Just what I was hoping for.
This is the bug. Hello, resistors. It's bug time. Are you all sitting comfortably? No? Good. That's as it should be. This is the bug. I'm Andy, and joining me to analyse the latest blowflies to emerge from the corpse of a once free Britain, it's Alice.
Hello, Andy.
And today, we're going to talk to you about Albion, your friends and mine. Alice, the government has extended Albion's contract and have also boasted that violent crime has plummeted to a record low. Now, extending Albion's contract, to me, that's like having a pet dog, let's call it Nigel for the sake of argument, that attacks you every single day and thinking to yourself, wouldn't it be nice if Nigel had puppies?
That contract has been extended so many times, it's like the neck of a politician that's criticised the government.
I'm not sure entirely how those contract extension negotiations went, probably like a footballer. In the old days, I assume Albion's agent was leaking stories to the press about how our favourite private militia was being tapped up by Barcelona or Bayern Munich. The government panics and thinks, well, we better get them signed up before it's too late. But still, violent crime, a record low, although I imagine that probably depends exactly how you count it. If you include violent crime committed by the state, either themselves or via Albion, their chosen violent crime contractors who provide such a very valuable bargain service of beating people up, well, it's probably not quite as low as the figures suggest.
I don't know. I think they're probably right. Who has the opportunity to commit violent crime these days anyway? The moment you pick up a fruit knife, you get tasered by a robot policeman and deported for looking Bulgarian. It's a much more peaceful society. It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts, Alice. I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
Well, what is the set rate? Is it 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too much anyway, because it's just so nice to get paid for doing your hobby anyway, isn't it? I imagine it doesn't even feel like work.
I mean, who needs violent crime anymore anyway? You know, you can just starve to death without even starting a gang war.
We do have to ask, exactly what does the Prime Minister make of all this? Let's ask him. Oh, I hope they pick up. Hello, you're through to number 10 Downing Street. Hello, is the Prime Minister there, please? Let me just check. Sorry, you've missed him. I'm afraid he's popped out for the decade. Oh, never mind. Is there anyone else I can talk to? Yes, of course. There's a shady cabal of vested interests who control him and prop him up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, Andy, remember when you could get away with prank calls without people coming round to your house to beat the shit out of you?
Oh, happy time.
You're listening to The Bug.
Did you think the Prime Minister will ever come back?
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become, Alice? When you look at the state of our politics, we're supposed to have the Mother of Parliament. Well, this is one mother that has emphatically abandoned her kids in the woods to be brought up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never works out like it does in the story. Wolves are bad parents, unless you're a wolf, in which case they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't flogged off for profit? Oh, I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted and diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quackish lunatics insist it actually works better that way. It's total bullshit. Is there anything left? New on The Bug this week, a new feature, the Bug Off feature. The person who has most irritated us in Britain this week, we're going to tell to bug off. And to get things going, I'm going to nominate Big Nigel. Nigel Cass. Look, this is Britain. History tells us this place is a bastion of freedom.
It says skip, so I'm confused if there's an ender now.
Involve Big Nigel expressing his freedom to run a private army. I guess historically there is a precedent. The East India Company, that was a trading house with an army of 250,000 soldiers, which is a lot for a company. The Bug PLC has Alice with a water pistol, but crucially, compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate its 250,000 strong army in London. It did it a long way away, out of sight, out of mind. Anyone to nominate for the bug off, Alice?
I think today's bug off for me goes to my streaming service. I'm sick of being recommended things based on things I already like. The other day it recommended me to watch a reality TV competitive dating show set in a nude commune. Andy, I watched it and I liked it, and I do not want to be the kind of person who enjoys nude competitive reality television dating shows. I did not want to know that about myself. I have to go sit in the corner and cry.
That's it from the bug. Don't forget the live show that is so secret it is definitely not happening at the usual time and place this month. Definitely not, and definitely do not tell anyone not to come to it. It's definitely not happening. Usual time and place. Bye-bye.
It did end. Another one.
Coming up in today's episode of The Upload, we're talking about how Bagley managed to conquer London. Pretty much my favourite topic. I could talk for hours about the rise of the AI system. It's easy to forget about its origins. It's so present everywhere we go now. Bagley just kind of blends into the background.
Bagley is the service AI that's present in every Optic device. Whether you're using the Optic, Bagley will be there. The AI is streamed to your Optic from Bloom's central command center, and it was first created by Sky Larson, our tech hero, as part of her techno-utopian idea for the world. Why do you think it grew so quickly?
In my mind, it's no surprise that Bagley became so popular. It's funny, useful, fast. It's a great companion and...
a floppy disk. Oh my gosh, it just stops the other one I was listening to because I grabbed that. Oof. There's so many too.
Coming up today on The Upload, we're talking about Sky Larson, the enigmatic founder of Broker Tech. Everyone knows her name, but no one knows too much about her. And we only really see her these days as a hologram. She was pretty young when she launched Broker Tech, the company that is best known for introducing Bagley to the world. Nowadays, it's hard to remember a world before Bagley.
And I think that what Sky Larson's done with Bagley is absolutely incredible. Bagley is the most advanced, significant AI of our time, and it's really blown all the other AIs that were created out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really imagine the Optic without it. But what do you know about Sky Larson herself?
Not a lot, other than that she's actually pretty incredible. I've followed her work for a long time, and she's always been a pretty private person. I know that she supposedly grew up in the countryside, but there isn't actually that much more we know about her other than this tech that she's put out into the world.
I've always found it a bit creepy that she's so obsessed with this idea of transhumanism.
It's a trap! Wouldn't you be? When you've got a mind as amazing as Sky's, why wouldn't you want to take what you've got and actually augment it by working with technology, by improving your physical self, changing your body and the world around you, implementing more technology to extend your life and really sort of extend human capabilities.
There's another one in here.
You sound pretty much in love with Sky Larson, I have to say.
I can't comment on that, but I am a big fan of her work. She's been one of these people that has transformed the world around us, and just watching how her mind works from afar is pretty incredible, because some of what the technology she's introduced has changed how we all live our lives, and Bagley has been this really incredible assistance to humanity as a whole. Did I ever tell you that I actually interviewed Sky Larson once?
Really? I thought she never spoke to the media or anything.
So this was a long time ago, back in the day when she was a little bit more accessible, and she was one of these people that just had an amazing presence. You were inspired by her very being, and she was just incredibly talented and knowledgeable, and one of possibly the best living people that I've ever met.
I'm not sure you're being too objective there. I mean, I imagine she's not very likable as a person.
She obviously despises humanity in some way. I think she believes that becoming data is preferable to being human. She's one of these people who's extremely methodical in everything that she does, and she does everything to perfection and really tries to change the world around her and make it a better place for us to live in.
If you say so. Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Upload. We're talking about the Optic and how it's changed our lives. Now, as you remember, Bloom announced a new version of the Optic at the recent Tone conference, but we haven't heard too much about that since due to the dramatic events there. Let's cast our minds back and consider the technology. I mean, the Optic changed everything. It lets you see things in AR. You no longer need a smartphone. You just have the small implant that sends signals to your optic nerve and lets you see your emails, take calls, and browse the internet directly as if the screen was in front of your eyes. Instead of having to carry around a phone, you've just got the small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you absolutely love the Optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
I mean, sure, it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's so simple to call someone now. All you have to do is choose who you want to chat to, and they're there, ready to talk.
So much talking.
And browsing the web is so much easier. I remember when you used to have to sit down at a computer with an actual keyboard and mouse and type everything out. And my favourite feature is public transport. With the Optic, you can just walk straight onto the tube. It even acts as a passport. No longer do I have to dig around and try and find my old paper passport just to travel somewhere. Also, I thought that Optic's marketing strategy, making it free for people, was a stroke of genius.
Genius. Bloom was really calculated when it was doing that. It was pushing this draconian device on us at all. Sure, everybody flocked to it. There was free Wi-Fi and phone plans. That definitely helped, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need in your life.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you had to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. It was almost like the government and Bloom didn't even need to make the Optic mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. If free data didn't convince you, fines and arrests from the state for not having the Optic would pretty much be enough.
I mean, what do you mean by privacy problems? No one really talks about that anymore.
They don't talk about it because we don't have any choice when it comes to the Optic. Yes, it's convenient and mandatory, but everybody's forgotten what it really means. Here, you've got a whole company owning basically all the data about your life. Bloom can see everything that you can see. Nothing is private anymore. There are so many times when I don't want anyone to have a clue about where I am, who I'm chatting with, what I'm doing. It's not even dodgy stuff, but I just don't want anybody to blackmail me with this in the future by hacking it. And because of Bloom's contracts with the government, it isn't just Bloom that can see everything I do, it's the government. The UK as a state has become a complete surveillance paradise.
I think you're painting a bit of a bleak picture. It's not all that bad.
No, you're completely wrong on this. I don't want everybody tracking me wherever I'm going around London.
Well, in that case, you might be interested in some rumours I heard. Did you hear that some DedSec hackers have found a way to bypass the Optic's connection with Bloom?
Are they actually making it better or usable or actually friendly for anybody?
Well, word on the street is that they've been able to create an encrypted signal, which means that your world might have a chance of becoming a bit more private again, so you could go back and enjoy all the great things about Optic without that fear of surveillance.
With the Optic, privacy's dead.
A mask. Woohoo!
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be here in London's chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network, although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yeah, now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
What's that even about? What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me. And it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The System Network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They used to use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance, would look far off into the distance, while LiDAR would detect objects nearby. And while these cars still use some of this technology, Bloom CTOS and its detailed maps and data that it has on London really makes Bloom be able to take control of it. And CTOS can take control of your car if you're parked incorrectly. It's no surprise that it was made mandatory to have a self-driving car.
The system is so bad though, it's so annoying. Whenever I try to use one of the shareable self-driving cars, I always find myself stuck in traffic jams or roadblocks. Not to mention the accidents. I've heard so many stories of cars shunting into the back of others. I think they're worse than human drivers sometimes.
The technology was meant to make things better, but Bloom has made it so bad that it just makes London even more chaotic than it was before. I'm giving up on the cars. I'm only using the bikes, which are not self-driving at the moment, at least. And don't even get me started on the data. Everything that Bloom sees from your movements around the city and the self-driving cars is collected and feeds back into its big information control system.
Oh, not you and Bloom and privacy again. You're a broken record.
Not as broken as our city's cars.
Oh boy. Hey there, Two Fevs Ninja, how you doing?
No DedSec registration detected. Identify yourself, or I'll seal the exits, hack your optic, and read you every drunken email you ever wrote until you starve.
I'm with Sabine. Who the hell are you, and why do you sound like a mobile phone?
Sabine's alive? Well, that's one piece of good news. I'm Bagley, DedSec's definitely not stolen, highly advanced AI assistant, and it seems I've been out of commission for a few months. Anyway, why don't you go connect me to the DedSec network so I can become more powerful than you could possibly imagine? Catch up on what I missed.
Yeah, I think we all are here. At that point, None of the lights are on.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, on Buccaneer.
That's good, you're doing great.
Your source for what they don't want you to know. In today's world, we've all had to get used to our every move being tracked by the optic on our temples, by the cameras around us, and with every click we make online. Seems like everything we do feeds the big data beast. Why are data giants like Bloom so hungry to get hold of our private information and our metadata? What are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one? As you know, we keep all names confidential on Buccaneer. Speaking from a secure location, here's new technology strategist Charles, who worked all over the world trying to keep democracy strong in the face of the data assault.
If you have enough personal data on somebody, you're able to predict what it is that they're going to do. You can tell what they might be passionate about, but mostly you can tell what they fear. And if you can tell what someone fears, then you can manipulate them and you can move them in particular directions. Like, Data is collected on citizens in every possible way. Data is collected through surveillance cameras. Data is collected from television sets. Data is collected from voter records. It's collected from how much power do you use in your house and how much water do you use in your house. In pre-crisis Britain, we got really used to all of our services being free. Everything suddenly became free that was digital. But what people forgot is that if you're not paying for it, then you're the product being sold.
If technology brings out the worst in capitalism, capitalism brings out the worst in technology. Senior academic Alfie tells us how big business repurposes big data.
Historically, what's happened, of course, is that people have traded their privacy for their convenience as smartphones and other kinds of technology came in and became mass-consumed, mass-used items and technological objects. Gradually, people were so attracted to the affordances of these technologies that privacy kind of retreated into the background and into a state we've got now where it's essentially gone. Having this access to this data makes huge tech companies like Bloom so much more powerful than they would be otherwise, and not just in the obvious ways. Of course, there's a lot of worry and fear over what they can do with the data, can track anyone, find anyone, see what every individual is doing at any point in time. But I think there's even deeper reasons why this data empowers these huge companies to control our society and make us do things. So lots of predictive technologies which are implemented by these tech giants. It's not only interested in knowing what we're going to do, but influencing the patterns of our movement. So technologies might suggest routes to use in the city, places to go, restaurants to go to, cafes to go to, music to listen to. And these suggestions are not just predicting what we might like to do, they're actually influencing the way citizens move, think, eat, meet, and use their city as a space. So London has become a place where a small group of surveillance capitalist companies like Bloom can control the movements of individuals and orchestrate the way they move around their city and the way they essentially live, the things they do, the things they enjoy and the life they lead. So we're really kind of outsourcing our decision making, I would say, to a huge corporate capitalist company, and there's something very, very scary about that indeed. All these technologies can be used to not only influence us to act as the perfect consumer, but also to prevent us from doing radical and revolutionary things. So technologies in foreign nations that have been used are things like heat map features which show where populations are gathering. In-game rewards can be offered to people to take different routes, things like that. Traffic data can be manipulated to prevent people gathering and protesting, as has happened in some of the authoritarian regimes across the world recently. So what we're looking at is not only a set of technologies which make people behave as ideal consumers, but ones which actually can be put to use to prevent radical and disruptive behavior in the city, which limits the power of any kind of revolutionary force.
So, if you thought you had a private life, get used to it. You don't. And we're not going to reclaim our lives without a fight. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer, keeping the resistance informed. Keep listening, keep fighting, and remember, nobody owns you but you.
Ah, that's it. I'm reconnected to the network, downloading our database, news archives, and oh no. Terrorist group DedSec responsible for deadly bombings in London. Dalton Wolf dead? I leave you people alone for a second and you immediately cock it all up.
So, Bagley, if not DedSec, then who was behind the bombings?
There's a gap in my memory after Dalton, well, let's be honest, after I disarmed the bomb at Parliament. I'm missing information about what happened after I was taken offline. But from what I can infer, an unknown hacker group identified only as Zero Day was involved. I believe this Zero Day staged the attacks and framed DedSec for their dirty work. Come to my terminal. Sabine is requesting a video call. Patching in Sabine Brandt now. I suggest you listen very closely to anything she has to say.
There you are. I'm glad you made it. Bagley, God, it's good to hear your demented little voice. Is your memory intact?
Not even slightly. The last record I have is of our HQ being raided. My only lead is a group known as Zero Day. Ring any bells?
No. But the HQ was attacked by some men in black, the same that were at Parliament. Maybe working together. We didn't stand a chance.
Is it?
They just gunned everyone down.
My God. How'd you survive?
I managed to escape through the sewers to Camden. A contact smuggled me out of the city, and I've been hiding out in the north since.
Prudence. Your profile is red flagged as a high-priority target in the city's surveillance system. Even a partial recognition here would have you hunted down and shot on sight.
There aren't many DedSec fans in London these days. Look, I want to help, I do, but joining up with you now verges on suicidal.
Listen, if anyone knows anything about risks, it's me. I lost everything and everyone. But it comes down to this. London is in a death spiral. And if DedSec can't pull it out, trust me, no one can. The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
Fine. But you owe me.
Excellent. New user registered. Welcome to DedSec. Now, it would be irresponsible of us to release you naked and mewling into the wild. You'll find equipment around the safe house that are essential items in your DedSec kit.
I guess what, Anna? One more.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. They probably know that you're listening to this show right now, but don't worry. We're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organization that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and location secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
You know, we're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data and how that's been used and manipulated. And what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. For example, if we examine what actually happened, you know, there's a company that's really very interested in selling passports and making it easy to provide visas for investment and so on. And historically, throughout the world, they've been working with this big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments. And then suddenly all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things were done, but everybody had a feeling that something really stunk and they couldn't figure it out. And yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. There's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well, who are bending things just a little. Oh, we'll compromise a little bit, we'll bend the rules a little bit, and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is a big wall moving in a big way from a lot of little buttons being pushed. But also there's this other thing that's going on here is the gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained within its DNA. It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been used in that way.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it for the pre-crisis press.
we're starting to see the merger of private data and that with data held by the state into what are called social credit systems. This is where every aspect of your behaviour is monitored and totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. And this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours, and this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points, and then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, the travel privileges, being able to travel first class, or being denied from travelling first class to not being allowed to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of all of the data that is now held on us.
Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
Is the world we're living in now fascist? Well, this is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation, and the only meaning that you will find in your life is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? A nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does. It's just a myth, but that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one another. But that isn't that rare. I mean, you saw exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. You look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany, there were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
So if your ears are burning and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show, and keep it encrypted.
What?
They're watching us, but we're watching them too.
That's all I said. Dang, look, we can get Spider-Bot, capable of takedowns, add double jump and run. Camouflage, you can be invisible. Drone. Can be hijacked. Like a stun gun. My team is her, and that's it. There's all this data we got. I'm gonna get the Spider-Bot thing. Change the paint tab.
We have a sophisticated system for hiding your identity from facial recognition tech. It's called a mask. And while we're here, perhaps we can talk about updating your wardrobe. I mean, look at you. Come on.
Be a giant present.
You've got all these fancy new toys, but it's also important to know the basics. You need to learn how to throw a punch and how to take one. Albion will escalate if you come at them with a gun and shoot you down. We want to avoid collateral damage. In DedSec, we try to use guns only as a last resort.
Have you already met Connie Robinson? She owns the pub and is an old DedSec contact, not to mention a champion amateur boxer. Go to the practice ring and she'll show you how to stop flinching when someone cocks a punch at you.
Is your laptop being good now?
Let's start with some basic strikes. Hit me. Don't be shy. Couldn't have done that better myself. You want to get in under my block. Find the weak point. Just like that. You're getting it. Quick on your feet now. You want to create distance. You're getting it. Yes, nice one.
Whoa. Photo booth. Took a picture. That's good. That is good.
I just can't handle this right now.
You're just being stupid now.
I love it. Always keeps the curtains drawn. Goes in and out of his flat without...
Get on with your life. My name are all boring.
Old people are just trying my patience. I can't believe this is happening. Really?
Imagine just hearing Block Party right away.
Right, gear in order? Know enough not to punch yourself in the face or get shot for pulling out a gun too early? Brilliant. I'm working out how we find Zero Day and ruin their day, but I need someone with actual legs to do the legwork. Hope you're ready.
We have some damage control to do if we want to change the perception that we're a bunch of violent thugs. I'll let you be the judge of how best to handle yourself, but remember, you represent DedSec now.
All right, Sabine, what's our plan?
Make no mistake, London is under occupation. Armed mercenaries patrol our streets, allegedly to keep people safe, but really they're keeping the people scared.
And all our cowering just makes us easier to step on. Albion needs this terror. It's how they consolidate their power.
So, we have to ignite the will to resist in the people of London by showing them that Albion aren't the solution. They're the problem.
For that, we'll need information. I'm pushing 2 sets of coordinates to your optic.
Cheers, Bagley. I've identified 2 opportunities. 1, we're going to disrupt some Albion propaganda. Remind the people it's not Albion's way or the highway. 2, we need intel about Albion operations if we want to throw a spanner in their plans. You game?
How could I say no to you?
Brilliant. Let's get the people of London on board.
Falsifying identification and other official documents is a crime.
So much more powerful than they would be otherwise.
Fine.
And not just in the obvious way. Of course, there's a lot of worry
and fear over what they can do with the data, that can track anyone, find
Auto-drive now
anyone, see
enabled.
what every individual is doing at any point in time. But I think there's even deeper reasons why this data empowers these huge companies to control our society. And make us do things. So lots of predictive technology which are implemented by these tech giants. It's not only interested in knowing what we're going to do, but influencing the patterns of our movement. So technologies might suggest routes to use in the city, places to go, restaurants to go to, cafes to go to, music to listen to. And these suggestions are not just predicting what we might like to do, they're actually influencing the way citizens move, think, eat, meet, and use their city as a space. So London has become a place where a small group of
surveillance capitalist companies like
Building a resistance group requires operatives with specialized skills. Technical abilities, firearms handling, and physical training are all valuable. Bare-knuckle boxing rings are a good place to find people who are good at throwing punches, or taking them. By defeating each opponent in an arena, you'll have an opportunity to face its best fighter. Prove your physical superiority, and they may consider joining DedSec. I'm guessing that's some sort of primate society thing.
Soccer ball. Play.
All right, let's just say this is physical coordination training. I'll keep track of your score.
Oh, waste of time. The football master has arrived. Ha! I am unstoppable. That was my best one yet.
Get goals. They don't. Yes. I didn't realize it could be your head.
Whatever.
Watch out for that.
Since taking over after the town bombings,
Oh, waste of time. The football master has arrived. All hail the queen of footy!
Still getting ready on there.
Albion guards are in service of the state.
I am unstoppable.
We're getting goals.
Suppose you could say I crushed it. Ha! I am unstoppable. The football master has arrived. Ha! I am unstoppable.
I got it.
And that's why they call it the beautiful game.
Next reward, we get a hat. I guess I'll do one more.
Whatever.
Ugh.
Oh, damn. The football master has arrived. There's just no stopping me on the pitch.
A little better. Play kick up. Yeah.
Offenders will be arrested.
What they want and not give to the rest of us what we need. So the
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. With me, Tash. It's hard to believe that there could be shortages of food and medicine.
Auto drive now disabled.
And yet, here we are. Those old government promises of adequate food turn out to be just another lie. Today we're short of basic foodstuffs and vital medical supplies. Hundreds have already died of conditions that can be easily cured. The black market means that criminal gangs like Clan Kenny run our cities. And Prime Minister Dev Hassani isn't even around to pretend to care. How do we go from a consumer paradise to a place of empty shelves and fighting for supplies? What turns a land of plenty into a wild west of hoarding, food battles and black market barons? We protect everyone who comes on the podcast by keeping their identities a secret. Here's veteran political reporter Ian on the power behind shortages.
Look, I mean, what was the first thing that happened when Britain sealed itself off? Like, the first stuff that got stopped from coming in was fresh food. I mean, we could live without the fresh food. I mean, everyone's quality of life got instantly worse, but we could live without it. The most damaging part was when the radioactive isotopes stopped coming in. Now, radioactive isotopes, that's what we use in cancer screening, cancer screening. Now, that stuff...
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
First they take over the justice system, then they move in. So much for rule of law.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here about how Albion are targeting dissenters, the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
It's all good.
Did you hear that noise?
There's a shooter up taste, lad! Hold it!
Shotgun's gonna fuck you up.
I need backup now!
Confirmed hit.
Let's get this over with.
Not reinforcements.
They're running. Get on them.
saw investigators to bring you the news. I think I saw Understood. This area is
Bagley, what do we have?
A list of what Albion consider high-value targets that are threats to the peaceful running of London. See here, a journalist, and this one runs a community shelter. Good God, bar your doors.
What the hell?
All suspected of sowing rebellion or exhibiting tendencies towards... Albion is systematically arresting people even before they rise up. Joke's on them. This list can actually help us find like-minded allies willing to help us. Well done. Now, let's disrupt some of Albion's propaganda and give some hope to the people.
Go. What are these others?
It's a trap!
Yo, it's a trap. Thank you for the follow, Hunter. How you doing? Really appreciate that.
British Broadcasting Network.
Get over you. Hurt.
This area is being recorded by the GBE.
It's a trap!
Trap.
Oh yeah!
How? How do I? Or is it on the other side? Either way, I don't want to be here. A massacre. How does one? Plus 10. Oh, glitchy.
That was definitely something.
Hey, how do these work? We're learning. It's all good. That's the point of them, right? They're there to have fun. They have people who love spending them all right away, and I have people who love saving them up. So I've seen both. All for good fun. Good bad guy.
This wall's a bit dry.
47. Okay.
Isn't it?
What's the point of risking your neck out there if you don't get any credit for it? Haste-ups let the people of London know that DedSec is back, and the increased visibility might even encourage some of them to donate to the cause.
BRB sounds good, and also welcome back, Anna.
Won't earn any art grants, but I think it does the job.
Look at them. Oh, yeah. This one. Help me home.
Even more concerned.
Did all of us. Rewind a second, real fast. Boo, are you still here?
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists.
Stops. Stops.
and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where whether you're talking
Those Albion pricks putting their ugly stamp on everything. It makes me sick just looking at it.
There's going to be that much less once you're done here. Let's give Camden a break from these eyesores.
On it.
If you hijacked that scissor lift, you could use it to access the rooftop.
Apps to block your tracking or CTOS activity is illegal and dangerous. Unauthorized programs leave you vulnerable to digital attacks and compromises security.
Yes, nicely done. That'll get people's attention. Let them know someone is standing up to Albion. Light the spark that they can stand up to.
If nothing else, it'll relieve their eye strain.
What now?
We're already seeing results from what you've done. That list we found named a journalist in Camden who's been investigating Albion. We reached out, and he's got information that can help us. I think you should meet with him.
Forward me the coordinates.
Fast travel point.
It's very hard to get your message cut through all of the noise of all of this information that's there. So, like, if you remember Out on the Edges, there was this story about when they would take a house by force, they would take infants and they would crucify them.
Controller. Controller. Imagine putting an error code for that.
This is London Calling. You're listening to me, Tash, on Buccaneer. Your source for what they don't want you to know. This time we're turning our focus back on the media to look at my former employer, the GBB. As we know, the broadcaster has been through a lot of changes since the Hassani government gave in to pressure from its corporate backers and privatised the corporation. Today, the GBB is a shadow of its former self. It's become a tool used by the government to circulate fake news and misinformation. So how did we get here? Where did it all go wrong? How can we tell when our national media has become state propaganda? Our experts speak on conditions of anonymity for their own safety. Here's disinformation and media expert Charles, who's seen free broadcasters built up by journalists and torn down by demagogues all over the world.
So before the media fragmented, there was this voice of authority that was trusted and worthy of trust. Then what we ended up with is a really commercial model where, whether you're talking about an app on
A little birdie told me you needed help.
You're the crew that's been sticking it to Albion. Can't believe someone else is. Thought I was alone, right? Not doing much, just putting the word out. But you? Taking action, mate.
Someone has to, don't they? Anyway, what have you got for us?
Almost got clip finding this. All of Albion's operational data for the entire city. Convoy routes, surveillance targets, assets. It's all there. Thinking you can make good use of that.
You'll get no argument from me.
Here's a sample. Albion's closed King's Cross to the public, right? But what people don't know is that they're using it as their logistics centre. Materials, troops, whatever. A lot of it runs through there. You want to give the people a huge boost? Hit that place. Put it out of commission, and you'll severely hamstring Albion's operations here in Camden. Hell, everywhere.
Then that's our move.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's great. Absolutely. If you can, yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much, yeah?
Going in.
Code 3, closest units proceed to alarm location.
Don't see what's set off the alarm. I'll check it out. You bumper clock!
Ready for action?
Why not?
Back in.
Sure thing, I guess. What I mean,
in trouble now. Shots fired!
They were there earlier. Check it out. Sweep everything into your finder. Drone, spread out and search. How'd she get away from us?
Okay.
Taking point.
Spider bots.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Pat.
Albion's operational plans are just what we needed to really get some traction. We'll have to take a close look at this. Now, how do we take King's Cross offline?
Albion's housed a massive hybrid power generator in there. Output must be immense. You cause a power surge in that beast and boom.
Didn't you say it was closed to the public? How do you come by that intel?
It cost me a news drone. Okay, maybe 3, but it's worth it if this comes off, right? Getting to that generator ain't gonna be easy. They've locked it up tighter since I last saw.
Suggestions?
My news drones are still in here. They should be functional. You can use one of them. Probably have better luck piloting it too, yeah?
Well, causing a power surge in a hybrid powered generator isn't like making a toasty. We're going to need detailed specifications.
Suppose we should check it out. this?
Cool, looks bloody complicated. Newsy's got a pretty functional camera. Would a picture do you, Bagley?
It would indeed. According to this, there's an override code that'll get us into the generator's system. That's it. Use the code on the generator and I can trigger a power surge.
There should be enough.
Here we go.
We got a gold mine of information out of St. Pancras. Albion convoys, informants, gear, you name it. Everything we need to ignite the people of London, like we did in Camden. Derail Albion's operations and give the people a reason to rise up, borough by borough. The more we do that, the more we'll get allies flocking to the cause. We'll show London that DedSec is here for them.
That was off the chain, mate. I knew DedSec weren't the bad guys Albion was saying. Now the rest of Camden will too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Now that you've shown the borough what DedSec is really all about, there are going to be folks wanting to join up. A lot of people have been looking for a way to fight back. In fact, there's one in particular I suspect will contact you very soon. I happen to know they're champing at the bit.
At this point, I think we'll take all comers. DedSec needs people.
Well, fuck me, you're still alive. I owe Sabine a tenner. Not only that, but your resistance handiwork just opened up a whole new source of information. So now I spy with my hypothetical eye something interesting at the Ministry of Civic Management.
What is it?
The Signals Intelligence Response Service, or SIRS, or the Earl Grey Gestapo, have developed a surveillance technology called AR Reconstruction. It's the bleeding edge of privacy rights violation, and thus it could be very useful in our attempts to find Zero Day. The demands of being a DedSec operative are all-consuming, so taking app gigs is a good way to make some extra quid that works around your new schedule. Lots of people will pay well to have their sensitive packages handled with care, and some will even pay you for deliveries. Ha ha!
Nobody's north. Hey, Michonne, how are you? Red wine. Hope your New Year's Eve has been going well. Better? Fruit. A lot of options. What do you get? Hey.
Freaks people out. Take yourself through. What do you I like this, but it would be better.
They're singing. It's as per usual, I suppose. Air. I feel like our mine is going all right. Haven't really done much, but it's not going bad. There's a lot of act, but unlimited range. Like the fast car for get up in there, but I don't have up. Ever. I'm used to it being Backstreet, but nothing else, right?
Oops, my bad.
Actually, this is the first English I sang, you know, all of the songs ever. All of them. And you with like a nice Does this work? Can I find something so I can save it for later? There's no one who looked amazing from the initial. I know almost every Backstreet song, but not every. I think I know like two. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Probably more than two in reality, but I haven't listened to them in a long time. Standard, but yeah. It has not good enough for the beard. That sounds good, by the way, Anna. hair. If I find someone, I can just hit the group button and then come back to them later? Okay, bye. Sounds good. Have fun being social. Probably gonna stream and come back later myself, but I probably won't be off for too long. But sounds good. Enjoy being social. Thanks for stopping by. Just trying to find someone who has a nice, I mean, doesn't look like a douchebag. Outfit doesn't matter because you change outfit. Facial appearance doesn't matter. Trying to recruit anybody because that's something you can do. I'm sure eventually you might be able to go to like the haircut place as well. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Is this person all?
Okay, but
That's my friend.
no, you sure? All right, I hear you.
So your operative buddies can just walk by. I like that. You inherit their traits, so I definitely don't want someone who has a bad leg. Oh boy.
Like these very much. Streaming. Love it. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Fuck.
How does this work?
Come on. No kidding.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hey. Dingus.
My fault.
If you're feeling out of your depth or like you could use a breather, you can always call on your new teammates to step in. It's your call.
Mark them for later.
That's the advantage of working together instead of alone.
Yeah. Mate, I just saw your message. What the fuck are you on about? What was that?
all of this. Weird guy.
What the hell? Who said you could be here at this hour? I've asked you a question, mate.
Suspicious persons shall be flagged for investigation.
Laura, that's a good first thing.
DedSec is a criminal organisation. If a member of DedSec approaches you, alert authorities as urgent.
We're looking for good beard colored hair, right? Not together, just those are like the two things now. Some ideas. Wait. Ape Hog. May die permanently anyway.
Sorry, say again?
Didn't see you there. Oh, okay.
Ping-pong gun.
That's great. Absolutely.
Yo,
Hey, it's
fam,
you.
long time.
Didn't think
What's
we'd see you
happening?
again. I know it's hard to track down someone fine at least.
Me love this beat. Oh, really? Such a flying menace.
That is awful. There's a lot of paintballers. unit revolved. Perfect. Beatbox or theme.
I'm done.
Yeah, personal space.
Close. How does this work, folks? Look at all these people. Go next. Professional hitman. Do whatever, however many there are, around 3 to 4. Come on.
On the right-hand side, when you walk in.
I don't understand. That'll do. That'll do.
No, so you just
Again.
He had a beard, but not big stats. That one guy, I guess, I didn't think you had him. Like, I don't know if I would have a while back. How many can you have? Let's check real quick. You have 45. Okay. I'll just check.
Oh, look at that.
just... Yeah, it's
Right, we definitely don't have anything more important to do.
You know what I turned into though, Bridget? Listen, man, let me tell you now, yo. Sharp quill, eyeball ink. See what I write in the print. Visualize what the eye thinks. Drag it across the page right to the root. I ink my finger.
Whatever. Oh, damn. Oh, waste of time.
Shaded, lean and ungraded. Into little strips fucking graded. Spitting out films are grenaded. Make them all fall down cascading. I wanna transcend plain sailing. Get to a winning case with the force of the waves. Living one and not blatantly hating. Car, I was still had to go spin the sky. Little push it to be gold by the eye. Told to be blind. We're all for time. Don't see the truth. Following the line. No way of sunlight to light in the mind. I taste the everything you ever dislike. Own the solutions about not a pint. Big rhythms, women and vibes. Flips. Flips.
Oh, waste of time.
Oh my god. Why are feet...
Whatever.
Yeah, I wish they were kind of switched closer to you.
Oh, damn.
Get it in a way, but the way it's like... That's technically lower.
Whatever. I am unstoppable. The football master has arrived. There's just no stopping me on the pitch.
A little further. You know what? Try to do their recruits. If I look at some better way around. I look at the people I have. Like little other mix too. He has one. Try this.
Belonging at the rubbish bin.
told you, yeah.
I can fast travel it.
Let's wait around and see if this racketeer shows up. Our potential recruit has been trying to take down a Clan Kelly racket run by a nearby goon. You could hack their optic to redistribute the money they stole. Well, that was easy. They might as well have sent us the money directly and saved themselves the trouble. I'll inform our prospect. We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
Guess I owe you.
Well, the best way to repay us would be to join us. DedSec could use you.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Like that, I got him. I'd have to do a mission because I did it that way. So there's two ways to do it. Oh, he's just in the team. Clothing discount. Oh boy. Headlight. The one and only is here. Where? I am the one and only. No one I'd rather be.
No, I did. No, I did do that. Yeah, I left it at home.
Welcome to DedSec, darling. We are just thrilled to have you.
Fuck yeah. Let's cause a fuss, shall we?
Yeah.
Or see someone who does not belong, you must report to Albion personnel immediately.
Fix that, right? Don't want any. Hey Sniper Elite, how you doing? How can I buy that? Talk to the right people.
Watcha?
It's mental. We're just doing this. No warning, no training, just elbow deep in it already.
Never mind that. Just do what's required.
Me tried hacking this robot drone thing, do some recon on an Albion base. It only made the robot mad and turned guns upon me. Felt like a fuck up with no clue. You hear?
You're right.
There's so much riding on us, and we ain't prepared for it.
Or these, I think, or real money stuff, obvious. Collectible, yeah. You know, I can't just look fine if I want that. Those honestly are big, but those are kind of crazy too. I wonder if there's any fun stuff on Game Audio. I'd hope so. I'm on Xbox Series X, yeah. That's good, you're doing good. There, money. Expected. I'm just
Homes need people. People need homes.
What?
Listen up, man's got the fire.
oh yeah.
I only want to bend the state to the end. What do I get? What do I get? Oh, what do I get? What do I get? Oh, what do I get? I'm in distress, I need a caress. What do I get? Just need a break.
grab it. Nice. I got mine on Amazon, but no, the stocks has been a pretty big issue, yeah. It's always sold out now. I had mine ordered before it came out, but
Come on, take a chance. See what happens. Looking at interesting places and casual beds.
You tired of living in the darkest timeline? You look like you could do something about it.
You must be with DedSec. This is perfect. You can help me destroy my life's work.
You what now?
I was fired from a medical research lab not too long ago. Apparently my boss sold off my work. Now I hear Albion's using it for some sort of biomilitary project. Warmongering bastards. As if they don't have enough power already. If I give you intel about my old files, can you destroy all of them?
Right. Leave it to us.
Thank you very much. Help me, and I'm confident we can work out a reciprocal arrangement. Use your imagination.
not even what I fully wanted to do. I wanted to do the fight instead. Now I have some guy I don't want on my list. It's like technically just never do it.
Place your bets, fight lovers. Here they come. Purveyors of violence and mayhem. They're poised, they're ready, they're wild and unsteady. Get on your feet.
I'm gonna drop you like your mum dropped her pants, you know.
Oh shit! Could that be the win right now? Oh shit! And that's a solid blow down. Just like a proper live highlight reel. We're back at it again, folks. The only game in town worth your time. Society's crumbling, institutions fumbling. Come and see a couple of fighters take it out on each other. Almost knocked their teeth right out. Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fight. Unbelievable blow. Don't know how anyone will come back from that. I want to hear that energy, folks. I want to hear the love and the hate. Get hype. The fighters step into the limelight. Take a look at those faces. Place your bets and strap the fuck in. Oh my God! What absolutely disgusting hit. A solid hit. That's the shit we like to see. Am I right, people? Oh yeah!
Compared to which one do you have now? What's the difference for which one? What Xbox do you have?
Mates from way back, they know violence. I want to see that chap move and get this crowd loud.
We're fighting two guys?
I'm done with you.
Currently not too much. It makes games, they look nicer, they run faster,
Come here and shut
they
it.
load faster. Like, it loads stuff quite a lot faster.
Did you all see that monster hit on the stream?
There's not really exclusive games yet, but there will be. But right now, it's
This'll be a nice easy warm-up.
a lot of games that are on one
Fucking wild blowout,
This will be a nice easy warm
like,
up.
you can even play, like, I play with my friends who are on Xbox One. Well, I'm on,
they're gonna feel that hit in the
I do
morning
that.
if they wake up. What a massive blow to our fighter. Now that's what I'm talking about. Solid strike from a solid fighter. Almost knocked their teeth right out.
Especially big if you have like 4 players.
If they wake
That
up.
stuff better.
Absolute legend, here to spoil dreams and crush hopes. That's why you bet on the underdog.
Dang, that guy has a bunch of everything. Take less damage, take slash deal. Blast damage. Oh, yeah, now there's these guys I could get. I don't have them yet. How the fights, it will just like add. Yeah. Weapons.
Firearm.
I want to get the punch. Cause you
Okay, illegal.
That's like a super punch though. That's a ask over there. Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Go!
I realize I have a box.
Yeah.
They get up higher. Really unlock something, I didn't even know it's box. more. I just want to make a mask.
Cease and desist, or you will be restrained.
Grab this. Yes. Boxes.
Surrender yourself. Failure to comply will result in extreme measures. Continuing unlawful activity will result in arrest. Failure to comply will result in forceful intervention.
I'll blow your fucking head off.
Cease and desist, or you will be restrained.
You have a bloody death wish.
I'm gonna need backup here.
Engaging target.
They've been coming in and out of stock a little more often, but not like super well. But I know they're trying to hopefully get them within this month, well, in January or February, because they want to get as many out as they can, because, I mean, they want us for people to get them. They're trying to sell as much as they can make. But they've been trying to slowly push them out. They haven't set an exact date, unfortunately, but I'd like to get it out around the next like month or two. I know, and should add at least.
Oi, what's your fucking problem?
This is mad. This whole
You alright?
Oi, what's your
A lot
fucking
of fun.
problem?
Buddies.
Best fish and chips, best barber, and so on and so forth. Now the
Tell him that he can't do that.
All right. Yeah. Alright, well, I am going to take a small break for now, actually. I'll be back streaming in a little bit. I have to go do something. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for the follows. I hope the Xbox will come back in stock soon. You'll be able to get one. If you're looking for one, they are worth it, in my opinion. It's a lot of fun. The upgrades are very nice. But yeah, I will be back shortly. I just have to take a small break, check something out. This is a really fun game. This is my first time playing today. Definitely enjoyed it. I'll be back, hopefully not in too long. I will see you guys around.